Ik heb al een jaar geen groente en geen fruit gegeten, maar ik voel me beter dan ooit. For some months I could not get out of bed. I could hardly do anything. And for me it was like from one moment on the other. So I was like doing all my stuff, my PhD, and going out every night. I was never at home. I was just having a super social life. And suddenly I was at home and I could not get out of the bed. And every little sensory input was just too much. Now, being in my 8th month in this program, my life has turned around like 180%. What I'm most grateful for is, first of all, that I have my mental energy back, clarity in my mental energy, that I feel so much gratitude and joy in every day. And I just want to live in the moment and enjoy that and enjoy my new, my new view on life. Hallo allemaal, Dutchies to be. In deze video ga ik heel open met jullie zijn en jullie dingen vertellen die ik eigenlijk nog nooit heb gedeeld. Dus ik vind dit best spannend. Ja, dus vandaag gaat het niet specifiek over het Nederlands, maar het gaat over iets nog belangrijkers. Je gezondheid. Want wat ik de laatste maanden heb gedaan, heeft me eindelijk geholpen om me echt beter te gaan voelen. Dus daarom ben ik zo enthousiast om dit nu met jullie te delen. En als het met je resoneert en je denkt, ik wil ook dit doen of iets wat hierop lijkt, kijk dan in de beschrijving naar de link naar dit programma van het IHF, het Integrated Health Foundation, in Nederlands IHF, ja. Of naar de links van video's die ik heb gedeeld en boeken met meer informatie over het dieet en alles wat ik doe en heb gedaan. Sommigen van jullie volgen mij al een lange tijd en weten, als je ook op Instagram mijn posts volgt of mijn andere meer persoonlijke video's hebt gezien, dat ik eigenlijk al jaren gezondheidsproblemen heb. In het kort, vanaf mijn tienerjaren heb ik al verschillende soorten diagnoses gehad voor verschillende soorten ziektes. En voor alle klachten die ik altijd heb gehad, heb ik meer dan 25 jaar dagelijks heel veel medicijnen gebruikt. En natuurlijk door die medicijnen, krijg je allemaal bijwerkingen en nog meer klachten. Dus mijn gezondheid ging steeds verder naar beneden. Werd steeds slechter. Dit begon vanaf ongeveer mijn 11e. En tot en met mijn 28ste heb ik met alle medicatie best goed kunnen functioneren. Totdat op mijn 28ste mijn lichaam het niet meer aankon en ik gewoon instortte en een burn-out kreeg. En sindsdien heb ik nooit meer fulltime kunnen werken en ook nooit meer hele drukke dagen kunnen hebben. Het tegenovergestelde. Heel weinig dingen op een dag kunnen doen en van alles altijd moe worden. Dus al 11 jaar lang heb ik heel veel klachten die te maken hebben met burn-out, met eigenlijk een overspannen zenuwstelsel. En dat kun je ook dysautonomie noemen. Er zijn verschillende soorten ziektes of aandoeningen of diagnoses die vallen onder dysautonomie. Het betekent eigenlijk dat je zenuwstelsel permanent chronisch onder zoveel spanning staat dat elk klein dingetje te veel is. Ja, maar op een gegeven moment wilde ik stoppen met de verschillende soorten medicatie en ben ik begonnen met kijken wat ik kan doen zelf aan levensstijlveranderingen om me op een natuurlijke manier toch beter te gaan voelen. En veel van die lifestyle dingen bespreek ik in deze video, die al wel hebben gezorgd dat ik ietsje meer energie kreeg en dat ik kon stoppen met alle medicatie. Maar nog steeds kon ik maar 4 tot 5 uur per dag werken en weinig sociale dingen doen. Mijn zenuwstelsel was nog steeds heel erg overactief. Ja, dus tot nu toe had ik niet iets gevonden waardoor ik helemaal in remissie kwam en helemaal beter werd of me in elk geval ging voelen zoals ik me wil voelen. Ja, vol energie en dingen doen, reizen, naar feestjes gaan, naar festivals gaan, sociale dingen doen zonder steeds direct heel moe te zijn en direct heel uitgeput te zijn. Maar vanaf december 2024 tot en met begin augustus heb ik 8 maanden een programma gevolgd bij het IHF. En dit heeft mijn leven echt veranderd. Dit programma is speciaal voor mensen met dysautonomie, zoals ik. Met een overbelast zenuwstelsel, een overprikkeld lichaam, een overprikkeld zenuwstelsel. Klinkt dit bekend en wil je meer informatie? Check dan de link in de beschrijving naar het programma van het IHF. Ja, en nu ben ik dus echt grotendeels in remissie. Ik ben nog niet 100%. Ik ben nog niet waar ik wil zijn, maar het gaat wel al veel beter. Ik voel me echt een ander mens. In het interview straks met Scott vertel ik nog veel uitgebreider waar ik vandaan kwam, wat ik heb gedaan en waar ik nu ben. Maar voordat we daarnaar gaan kijken, wil ik kort nog een paar belangrijke termen introduceren. Die Scott en ik gebruiken in het interview voor mensen die dat helemaal niet kennen. En nogmaals, mocht je nu of straks geïnteresseerd zijn in dit onderwerp, check de beschrijving voor de link naar het IHF of naar andere boeken en video's met meer informatie. Nou, de termen die Scott en ik gebruiken zijn allereerst pineapples. Pineapples zijn in het Nederlands ananassen. En we gebruiken in het programma van IHF pineapples als synoniem voor symptomen. Symptoms in het Engels. Symptomen, klachten. Een andere term is die-off symptoms. Nou, dat refereert aan wanneer in je microbioom bacteriën doodgaan. Microbioom ga ik zo ook uitleggen, misschien ken je dat nog niet. Als er in je lichaam slechte bacteriën doodgaan, die in jouw leven, wat het doel is van het programma, slechte bacteriën dood laten gaan of afvalstoffen en gifstoffen uit je lichaam krijgen. Door dat ontgiften, detoxing, kun je soms die-off krijgen, ook wel een Herxheimer reactie. Dat betekent dat het even heel tijdelijk erger wordt. Ja, bij het doodgaan of bij het verlaten van je lichaam, doei, krijg je soms dingen even die erger worden, omdat ze to die off, doodgaan. En dat doodgaan vinden ze niet leuk, dus ze maken het je moeilijk, tijdelijk. En dat is dus die-off symptomen. Eigenlijk ontgiftiging symptomen. Ja, en in het programma van het IHF volg je een specifiek dieet. En met dat dieet zorg je ervoor dat dus de slechte bacteriën in jouw microbioom doodgaan. Microbioom is een ander woord voor alle micro-organismen die in jouw lichaam leven. Bacteriën, virussen, parasieten, schimmels en alles hoort in harmonie te leven, in balans. En het grootste microbioom zit in onze darmen, in de darmflora. En met dit dieet wil je eigenlijk de slechte bacteriën, die vaak te veel zijn, wil je gaan uithongeren, zodat ze doodgaan en weggaan. Ja, dat is een van de belangrijke dingen in het programma, dat je dus dat dieet volgt om je darmen helemaal schoon te maken. Dat ze helemaal kunnen helen en jouw gezondheid weer beter wordt. Nou, dit is echt al een super interessant, maar ook groot onderwerp. En ik wil daar een andere keer met een diëtist een video of podcast over opnemen. Hoe je dat kan doen en wat dat doet voor je gezondheid. Maar eigenlijk de kernboodschap is dat bijna alle klachten die veel mensen hebben, hangen samen met jouw darmen. En als jouw darmen ziek zijn, ben jij ziek en kun je allerlei klachten krijgen, zelfs psychisch. depressie, ADHD, autisme, echt van alles. Of auto-immuunziektes, of vermoeidheid. En als jouw darmen weer gaan helen, gaan heel veel klachten weg. Dus door je darmen te helen, kun je veel auto-immuunziektes helen. Nou, mijn darmen waren heel erg beschadigd en ontzettende leaky gut. Ja, en nu heb ik dus 8 maanden dit programma gevolgd. En nu komt er eindelijk weer balans in dit microbioom. En ik voel dat ook echt, want ik heb geen angsten meer. Ik ben zo kalm, geen depressie, zoveel vreugde, zoveel geluk. Het is zo bijzonder. Ja, en met het programma bij IHF ben ik nu gestopt na 8 maanden. Maar het dieet moet ik nog wel 1,5 jaar volhouden. Het dieet duurt in totaal 2 jaar om je hele microbioom te resetten. En dit dieet heet het GAPS dieet. En dat is een eliminatiedieet waarin je dus specifieke dingen niet eet, zodat de slechte bacteriën doodgaan. Misschien denk je, maar wat moet je dan niet eten? Nou, dat zijn vooral suikers en zetmeel. Die 2 voeden de slechte bacteriën. Dus je mag wel vet en proteïne. Dus ik eet dat vooral. En ik eet dus absoluut 0 suiker, 0 zetmeel, geen groente, geen fruit, geen pasta, geen brood, helemaal niks. Nada, niente. Ik heb al een jaar geen groente en fruit gegeten. Alleen tegenwoordig een heel klein beetje gefermenteerde kimchi of sauerkraut, zuurkool, voor de probiotica. Maar dat is heel licht verteerbaar. Maar geen salades, geen gekookte groenten, helemaal niks. En ik ben gezonder dan ooit. Ik ben 0 keer ziek geweest. Nou, als allerlaatste voordat we naar het interview gaan. Naast het dieet doe je in het IHF-programma ook heel veel lifestyle oefeningen. Of die leer je. Nou, die deed ik al. Maar iets anders wat ook nog heel belangrijk is. En dat even heel kort. In dit programma leer je ook om jouw limbische brein opnieuw te herprogrammeren. Nou, ons brein bestaat uit de neocortex. Dat is aan de voorkant. Daarmee denk je vooral en maak je beslissingen. En achter heb je het reptiele brein bij je breinstam. Dat is het oudste brein. Die zorgt echt voor alles in je lichaam dat op de automatische piloot gaat. Bijvoorbeeld mijn handen bewegen of ademen. Dat mijn hart klopt. En boven het reptiele brein zit hier jouw limbische brein, het emotionele brein. De amygdala, de thalamus, de hypothalamus en nog een paar gebieden. Als je dysautonomie hebt, zoals ik, dan is dat limbische brein, dat emotionele brein, is continu onder stress. En is continu in een alarmmodus. En daardoor is het heel moeilijk om beter te worden als dat altijd gestrest is. Dus in dit programma leer je ook oefeningen en hele belangrijke soort van meditaties om jouw limbische brein helemaal te kalmeren, tot rust te brengen en nieuwe verbindingen te maken. Neural pathways. Nu zijn er allemaal pathways, dus verbindingen tussen neuronen, waarvan heel veel een soort van stressreacties steeds krijgen. En die ga je eigenlijk overschrijven door nieuwe te maken met nieuwe overtuigingen voor jezelf. Dus niet, ik kan dit niet en dit geeft stress en maar langzaam nieuwe paden maken waarbij je heel veel vertrouwen gaat voelen in dingen, heel veel liefde, heel veel vreugde. En dat heb ik dus ook al, ben ik 8 maanden aan het doen. En mijn stressreacties worden steeds minder. En nu word ik steeds flexibeler. Ik kan meer stress aan. Ik ben flexibeler in situaties. En ik ben ook in mijn omgeving meer dingen gaan zien. Dat is dus ook een belangrijk onderdeel voor mij, voor mensen met dysautonomie. Niet alleen dieet, niet alleen lifestyle, maar ook oefeningen om echt jouw brein en jouw autonome nervous system, zenuwstelsel, helemaal te laten ontspannen. Helemaal te kalmeren. Ja, dus super belangrijk ook, want als je een dieet volgt of iets voor jouw gezondheid doet, wat heel goed is, maar jouw lichaam staat toch continu onder spanning in fight, flight of freeze, met heel veel cortisol, dan kan je lichaam nog steeds niet goed helen. Misschien wel een beetje, en dat heb ik ook de laatste jaren gemerkt, het ging steeds wel iets beter, maar ik was altijd onder spanning, onder stress. Nou, dat was heel veel. Laat me weten of dit resoneert. En dan wens ik jullie nu heel veel plezier met het interview tussen Scott en mij. Hi Scott.
Hey Kim, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Nice to finally meet you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for jumping on. I would love to discuss it and learn about what you've been through and how it started and how you are now. If you could start out maybe just by sharing what initially led you to consider the program.
Well, I think like almost everyone in the program, I saw the video with Malia on Homestead How. And I think by that time I was in my second or third month of doing the carnivore diet. And I was already on a healing journey for some years. I've been chronically ill for most than half of my life. And I followed many different routes in the beginning. Like years ago, I just followed, the normal routes, like going to specialists and taking lots of medications. Then I tapered off all medications for my chronic diseases, let's say. And I had to do
How
it.
old were you when you first got diagnosed? Or when you started to feel symptoms? Like if we just go back to...
Well, the first ones were actually in puberty. And the first chronic illness was when I was 18, was sort of rheumatoid arthritis, but then it was another kind. It's like morbus still. It's a form of arthritis as well, chronic arthritis, but a little bit different than rheumatoid arthritis. But I had already other symptoms like dysautonomia symptoms when I was actually in puberty, but they didn't know how to diagnose it. I had lots of neurological symptoms. It looked like epilepsy. I had anti-epileptic medications, and I don't know, I've had many labels. I've had all kinds of medications since I was 11 until 2 years ago. From 11 until 2 years ago, I've had so many medications, and really, really, they destroyed, I think, more than that they did me any good. But it was symptoms.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah. And, but I don't know, during my whole journey, finally, I managed to taper off medications for my arthritis, medications for my mental health things, all those things. And then I started to do a lot of lifestyle changes, and I was sort of coping, but always super tired and fatigued and going in and out of burnouts, like working and not working, and
Was kind of in your 20s now, or when you were kind of going through stuff?
Yeah, from my late 20s to I'm now 39. So from my late 28, from 28 until like a year ago or so, I was going through it's like a lot. It's a lot. It's like you just summarize in a couple of sentences.
Yeah. No, it's actually really good to get to know like into the reads of your journey, because I think that for me it's like one of the most interesting things is like where people have come from, because I think that's also the point that people can really relate, and it's like things like this that may have started in puberty and you didn't realize what was going on and trying to figure it out, and it's like that stuff really shapes you as well, right? Like when in your adolescent years and you're dealing with sickness, and you have to have kind of the grit to get through that. So it's like continually shaping you as you're a kid. And then you're going through those teenage years, and because everyone else is, you know, socializing and having a good time, and like, not that you're not having a good time, I'm not sure if you were or not, but if I can relate to my own story, you know, everything was just a bit more of a struggle. You know, to make friends was a bit more of a struggle. To go out to parties was a big struggle, and it was like whether I could go out in the last minute, I'd pull out because I was too tired or like whatever. So it's really nice to learn about like those details as well, to like really figure out what journey you've been on step by step, so then people can really kind of relate to those different stages, you know?
Yeah, definitely. So I've had that indeed in from early childhood till
yeah.
well,
So through so it's through school and things like that, were you in and out of doctors and things like that, or you just sort of battling along with it? And
well, the thing is, I was always I have such a big drive for life. So even though that I was in and out of, doctor's appointments and having all those medications, I was doing really good. I was thriving in school. I was doing my university studies. I was doing a PhD after university. But then finally, when I was 28, I collapsed. So until the age of 28, I managed with all the medications. And I always said, like, I don't want to do any stress management. Give me all the pills. And I just wanted to live my life like all the other people. And I just needed lots of pills.
Yes.
Sort of get through the day and don't feel pain and don't have inflammation in my entire body. But when I was 28, my body couldn't take it anymore. And then I got seriously burned out. And
had you started working? Like, did you say you did a PhD when you were younger? And then what did you do your PhD in, out of curiosity?
I studied Dutch linguistics, and my PhD was also in Dutch linguistics. But after 1.5 years I was in a project with other PhD students and postdocs, and after 1.5 years, I just collapsed. I never finished my PhD.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah. So that was sort of early 20s, was it?
28, yeah.
So you were studying at that time?
Yeah, I finished already university when I was 26. I started late with university because when I was 18, I got severely ill, and for 2 years I couldn't go to university. Studied university when I was 20. Normally you start when you are 18, but because of my arthritis and I was so ill, I could not study for 2 years. But after a while, with all the medications, I started university. I finished when I was 26. Then I started my PhD and got burned out at 28. And then my spiritual journey actually began. I was still on lots of medications. I even got more because the psychiatrist labeled me with lots of mental illnesses disguised. They were not actually, because now I'm off all medications and I've never felt better. I feel super stable and happy and joyful and everything.
Yeah.
But back then they thought I was having like bipolar disorder, and they gave me lots of medications. So I had more medications than I
Crazy. Just layering it one on top of the other. It's like the gut psychology, right? But they don't realize it, and they just layer it on top. And then that builds on top of itself because people start thinking that they have something wrong, and then the brain starts reinforcing that, and down the loop everyone goes, Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you burnt out at 28, and what did that look like?
For some months, I could not get out of bed. I could hardly do anything. And for me, it was like from one moment on the other. So I was like doing all my stuff, my PhD, and going out every night. I was never at home. I was just having a super social life. And suddenly I was at home and I could not get out of the bed. And every little sensory input was just too much. But I wanted to go back to my PhD as fast as possible. So after just some months, when I started feeling a little bit better, I started going back to do my PhD, and I have always been pushing myself too much. So for a year or so, I think I tried to get back in my normal routine. But of course, I couldn't anymore. I could not work for more than 3-4 hours a day max and be totally maxed out. And I could not go to lots of social things anymore.
Yeah.
My world got smaller and smaller. And so from the age of 28 till, let's say, in 10 years time, my autonomic nervous system was so dysregulated. My world became smaller. I had lots of friends, but they became less. And I could do less. I could not go to parties anymore, festivals or crowds, or even going for a coffee with a friend in a cafe for 1 hour would be too much for my system, and I needed to go home and rest for hours. So that's been my life for the last 10 years.
Where are you at now? Like, how are you, what does your life look like now?
Well, I would say since 2 years or so, it started to turn around a bit, because I started to look at my food, and first I started to do a ketogenic diet, and then the carnivore diet, and then lots of lifestyle changes, like going outside in the mornings to have sunlight and, cold showers, all those things. Then I program. So step by step, I got into the first stages of recovery and being able to taper off all medications. And now, being in my 8th month in this program, and my life has turned around like 180%. Yeah, it is. I'm not completely there where I want to be, but I am, like, I've come so far, and my life has changed so much, and it's so beautiful. Yesterday I told the people in the limbic call, Courtney and the others, like, I'm doing limbic rounds every day, and since some weeks I feel like I'm living in the limbic round. Everything's so beautiful, and I feel so much love and joy and gratitude and calm, and like I'm living in my dream world.
Wow, amazing. That's so interesting. Well, I'd love to kind of dive into it a little bit more. You said a couple of years ago you started to sort of hone into maybe diet and some of the lifestyle things. I'd love to learn about some of the things that you were discovering before you discovered the program 8 months ago, and then I'd love to learn about what you learned about kind of in the program and go through a little bit more of that.
Well, the first thing that I discovered is that it really matters what you put in your mouth and how you feel. I always underestimated the influence of diet, and also I followed a vegetarian/vegan diet since I was 18. Not for my health, but just for, environmental, for the animals, actually, mostly for animals. But I think also because of that diet, and I was not having the most healthy vegetarian diet. I was eating lots of crap, all these fake things. So, and I was always feeling so depressed and anxious, etc. And I was always having these ups and downs with my energy, because your blood sugar goes up and down because of all the carbs and sugars. I was always feeling hungry, and I was always feeling tired, and I was always having brain fog and anxiety and all those things. And when I started doing ketogenic diet, not even carnivore, but ketogenic, it already starts to balance more. Well, I can have balanced energy. I can have... And then when I cut out all the sugars, I felt like I don't feel depressed anymore. I don't feel anxious anymore. And sometimes I would cheat, and I would eat a little bit of sugar, and the black cloud within half an hour would come. I would feel depressed. I would have to cry. I have been on all these medications for years, I think for nothing, because it's the sugar and the, not necessarily carbs, but sugar that you feel like the...
Poison. It's literal poison.
It is literal poison. So I was so happy to find that in the dietary changes. And the more I cut back also on the plants, so going more carnivore, I'm just feeling more and more happy, more and more calm. And to learn, like, we can thrive on just animal food.
Yeah.
Whereas they say like, oh, they're the devil, you know, you need to eat only plants and etc. That's good for you. But now I feel like no, and I feel it on the inside, and I see it on my skin. My skin was full of acne. It was so pale. It was full of pigmentation. It was super dry, and now my skin is glowing.
Amazing. You are glowing. You are really glowing.
So that is the nutrition part, but also I did actually in your program you have of course nutrition and limbic work and lifestyle things. And all the lifestyle things I already did, so I didn't need to change anything with the program. They already helped me a lot over the years, like all these nice things to do for your body, to do for yourself, the cold therapy, the meditations, they helped me a lot.
Yeah. So before you joined the program, were you doing a keto diet?
Yes.
You were doing a keto diet and you kind of had the lifestyle things pretty dialed in. Were you doing any sort of limbic work, or had you learned about the nervous system or anything like that?
Yeah, I had learned about the nervous system, and I knew a couple of exercises because I have a breathwork coach, and sometimes we did some nervous system exercises like tapping and stuff,
Yep.
but we didn't do anything that's comparable to limbic rounds. So limbic rounds were completely new, and I was already in carnivore ketosis, but I was eating carnivore foods that were still having starches and sugars like ham and, you know, cappuccino with regular milk. So when I changed to this GAPS protocol version that we have, I immediately had microbiome shifts because it was not possible before because I was still eating too much starches and sugars.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, cool. So you were on sort of a form of the keto diet, but you still had some starches and things in there. You were doing lifestyle things. It sounded like you were kind of like piecing it together for yourself, right? You're like, okay, I got to do some breath work, and you're trying to figure out all the things to try and calm the body and rebuild the gut and the microbiome and all that sort of stuff. When you discovered us and discovered the program, what was it like? Where were you at that moment?
Yeah, I was still struggling mostly with, I never know the right term in English, but being overstimulated very fast. Like if I work more than 1 hour at my computer, because I work from home, I have my own business online, so I need to work a lot at my computer. I could not work more than 1 hour and then need to rest. I could not go really to big crowds because I would feel overwhelmed. So a lot of my physical symptoms were already clearing up with all the lifestyle changes and the carnivore diet. But this thing with my mind, with my brain, that was my Achilles heel. I think really my nervous system was still in fight or flight, and I think, or in freeze, I don't know, but I think what really helped in this program is the limbic work. I did it from day one, every day religiously for an hour or 1.5 hours. And the microbiome shift, like die off of those motherfuckers. But still, you know, yeah, kind of how you say that. Because I think my gut was severely damaged because of all the medications I took my whole life, and making it hard for my brain making it overwhelmed all the time. So I was, you know, some people in the program, they are severely ill and they're bedbound. I was not like that, but for me, I could not function the way that I wanted. But yeah, now that I forgot about the insomnia.
So how was the insomnia? Like, what was that? What sort of stage were you at with that?
I don't know, because I used to have sleeping medications to get to sleep, and still they wouldn't work. Time I would lie awake for hours, and I would wake up every 1 or 2 hours because I also had interstitial cystitis, or what? How do you say that in English? Like with the bladder?
Yep.
Bladder issues.
To get up and go to the toilet frequently.
Yeah, all the time. And so hard to fall asleep, hard to stay asleep. and always waking up super exhausted.
And so for you, like a large part of it was like sort of the refinement of the diet, just so that you could actually start to rebuild the microbiome and go through those die-off stages. You're already implementing some of the good lifestyle things, but probably with the insomnia, it would have been difficult to sort of get into that circadian rhythm, and like you probably were a little bit out of sync with all of that. But the limbic system was just a huge component by the sound of it that you really like fully embraced. I think that's one that people struggle to fully embrace, you know, because it's a time requirement, you know, it's a big ask of some people. And I think people sort of see it and they're like, I have to dedicate too much time to it. But I think one of the things that people don't realize is it's like a long-term investment. It's like you put in 1 hour today and it's going to give you 3 hours in the future. And if you do that every day, it's going to give you 4 hours. It's going to give you 5 hours. It's going to give you 6 hours. And all of a sudden you have it all back.
And you will get your dream life.
Right?
Yeah, because everything that most of the things that I've visualized in my limbic rounds, they have manifested. So it was scary in the beginning. Well, in the program, you're not using this for manifesting things, of course. It's just a side effect for people. You do it to make new neural pathways and to calm the brain to get out of fight or flight. And that was like doing that, hands down, beginning. But also things started manifesting that I was visualizing. And now when today I looked at my 10 sentences that I wrote 7 months ago, and I was like, I did limbic rounds on almost all of them, and almost all of them now have come true. So all my wishes, all my desires have been answered. That's why I said, like, I feel like I'm living in my limbic round right now.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing how detailed it can be as well? Like you can visualize some of those things, and like that very exact thing that you visualize actually starts to unfold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. And I can understand that 1 hour a day is a big investment. It's hard to get started or to get there, but I am so happy that I did right from the beginning, and sometimes I did more than an hour a day because it made me feel so relaxed and so good and so grateful. I just wish for everyone that they could feel that as well if they are struggling, and reap the benefits later. Yeah.
How long did it take you to start feeling those emotions after starting doing the limbic rounds? Was it quite fast for you, or was it like a month or so, or?
No, in the first week.
Yeah. Amazing. And so as you were going through, how did you find sort of the structure of the program? There's quite a few calls and things like that you get to attend. Were you able to attend a lot of the calls, or?
Yeah, there were some calls that I could not attend because they were too late for my time zone. So actually I attended 2 to 4 calls a week.
Nice.
And for some months, I mean, now I sound so positive and happy and cheerful. But for some months, it was really struggling. I was struggling a lot with the die-off symptoms and not feeling progression yet, or pineapples getting worse because of die-off. And it's so great that then a couple of times a week, we have this community to talk to the other people and share experiences and get cheered on and share a win, even if it's hard to find one. But that reframing and looking for wins has helped me a lot as well. Like I can, at a situation from 2 angles, I can look at it from a negative point of view or from the positive. Every negative has a positive, and just looking for that positive. And that's shaped my brain the most, I think, with the limbic work. Like I see almost only positive and beautiful things right now.
Yeah.
So the structure of the program, I love it. I love that there's so much support and so much opportunities to share, and to have also the WhatsApp group to share the limbic rounds, and sometimes have a conversation with the people in my WhatsApp group. Because also I've lost most of my friends during the last years. I've been very isolated, and people don't understand what I was going through. They didn't, You know, that's why I lost them. Like, you can't come with us again and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, they don't understand. But now I found a group of people who do understand me, who have my back.
Yeah. I think that's one of the most underrated things in the journey, is to find a community that actually knows what's going on for you and has that empathy. And I think also being on the same journey as those people, you know, when you're in the community and you get to celebrate each other's wins, like you were saying, and helping each other reframe and pointing out some of those blind spots. And once you start doing that, once you start being able to reframe, I think somebody maybe that might be watching this might think, oh yeah, you know, it might be easy for some people to say, you know, but my life is X, Y, Z. But when you start doing some of these exercises and really reframing the way in which you perceive reality and life, then the whole game changes. How has that journey impacted sort of any of your family dynamics or relationships? You talked about, you know, some of your friend circles over there and an ability to sort of get out and do social things. How's that been over the last sort of 8 months as you've recovered?
Well, I've been getting more and more close to my family members, and yeah, with friends, nothing much has changed yet, but I found a new partner.
Amazing.
During the program, I was feeling still a lot of the times kind of, isolated. I did see my family more often and felt really grateful for that, and, you know, felt so much love. And in the past, I wasn't super close to my family. So actually I saw this as, okay, I used to have lots of friends and now I have more time for my family and I have space for new people to come into my life. But actually until a couple of weeks ago, for months, I was feeling kind of isolated and alone. And that was sometimes a little bit hard, but I knew, like, when the time comes, the right people will come into my life again. It's not something that you can force. But at least my new life partner had come into my life, and I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so...
Congratulations. So have you found over the last sort of 8 months going through the program, I'm just curious on your sort of timeline for recovery. You went through some really challenging times. You talked about die-off, and just for those that don't know, the die-off is the different bacterial families that will die off when you starve them from starches and sugars. And sometimes that can be really difficult, and it's a sort of a detox that the body goes through, and sometimes you'll be in bed. Sometimes that can involve headaches and, you know, just all sorts of things. And you mentioned pineapples, and people might not be knowing what pineapples are, but pineapples are generally, you know, the symptoms that are arising when you go through those die-offs. Were there times there where you felt like you wanted to give up? You're like, is there any time that your mind was like, I don't know about this. This is not good. Maybe this is not good for me. You're all in.
Yeah, I was all in, and I was grateful. Also, the die-offs were sometimes super hard, like the symptoms, but I was grateful at the same time because I knew now, you know, this would be temporary, but now I know that something is really being released from the body. And the first die-off that I had, the microbiome shift, was before I joined the program. It was when I started carnivore. I was having die-off for 8 weeks, and back then I didn't have any support and I didn't have any knowledge. I was just doing it by myself. Even then, I knew I was feeling horrible, terrible. I couldn't work, I couldn't sleep, I was depressed, I was feeling so bad. But I knew somewhere deep down, like, I have to go through this. And when I was in this program, then you all explain, like, what can happen, and you have the calls. And then I had the same die-off symptoms, and I remembered from last summer, like, I could even do it by myself, and it's just temporary. And afterwards, I will feel better. I did that already, so I never felt like I'm not gonna give up. No.
Yeah.
Never.
I think when that's the thing, right? It's knowledge is power, right? That's the ethos of the IHF, is knowledge is power. Because when you've got that understanding, then it's so much more powerful. I remember when I was going through an oxalates die-off, I had my whole arm would like rash up like bubbles, you know, and I was like, what's going on? And then I learned that it was oxalates releasing from my body, and learned all about oxalates and how bad they are, and it was a complete flip for me. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Look at my body healing itself and getting rid of all of these toxins and things like that. So when you've got that knowledge, it's just such a reframe. It's so much easier to go through those difficult stages when you just what's going on. And I think having that trust and faith in the body as well, that and the understanding, I think, that the body is always working for us. And I think that's one of the things that I really did not understand, is that the body's always working for us. And I think some of us start thinking negatively about the body, but don't realize that all these symptoms that are arising is just the body trying to deal with all the toxins and all the overload and the stress and very stimulating, toxic environment that we're often in.
And that's really powerful what you said. It gave me goosebumps, because I also always thought my whole life, like, my body is working against me because I've always been sick and I needed medications, etc.
Right.
And now that realization, like, no, it was actually always trying to support me, and it was just always trying, just to get things out, of course, but by suppressing it, it just gets deeper in the body. But when I started this program and doing the microbiome shift and all those things, and seeing, like, after 39 years, my body can finally now do its job, and it's not holding a grudge. It's like, yeah, we're still going to be there for you. And now we're finally getting, thank you. For letting me now.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. I think that's one of the things that happens a lot with us in society when we're doing all the things, is we actually forget to, like, tune in with this amazing body that we have and actually feel into what it needs. And I think when you go through this protocol, you get to tune into your body, into the mind, and kind of build those new neural pathways. You get to feed it, and you go through this big die-off phase as these huge detoxes. So you can also witness how your body detoxes toxins and how it can repair itself. So you get this kind of experience with your body, or a connection with your body, right? And so when you do things like eating sugar, after your body's been clean for so long, and you introduce a toxin like sugar, then you get that instant reaction, and and you're like, for me, it's like, oh, sorry, sorry, body, and mind, and you can kind of like tune into it and just better understand almost how to operate in this world, and what's good for us and what's not, and what's leading us down a bad road and what's leading us, towards more prosperity. Yeah. Well, it's been amazing to watch you go through your journey, and wow, you're looking just absolutely vibrant now, and it's just amazing to see. What's on the horizon for you now? I see that you have a thriving YouTube channel. Is that your business now? You're fully focused on that?
Yeah, that's my business.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that for 6 years now.
And do you have any sort of new goals moving forward, or are you just happy to have the energy back and see what comes next?
Yeah, I'm still, because I have plenty more energy than I had before, but I'm not at a level that I know that I can be. So I know that there's still, I need to continue this program for, to fulfill the whole program for 2 years, and with the diet and with the limbic work. And I'm just so, what I'm most grateful for is, first of all, that I have my mental energy back. Yeah. Clarity, my mental energy, that I feel so much gratitude and joy in every day. And I just want to live in the moment and enjoy that, and enjoy my new, my new view on life. Yeah. And I don't want to make too much plans, because I'm doing my limbic rounds, and if I visualize things, then they manifest eventually. So if there are little things that I would like, I do that. But I'm actually so happy with my life right now. I'm so happy and so grateful. And I know that just a little bit more energy is possible, but it will come down the road. And I'm not in a hurry. It's just great like this.
what advice would you give to anybody maybe that was in the situation that you were in? Would you have anything that you would share with somebody in that spot?
Somebody who is not doing anything with their diet and
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, well, first of all, of course, if they have the time and the financial means, then I would advise anyone to join your program or do something similar, you know. But also, I'm trying to lead by example, so people around me are inspired and already making changes in their diet. And I know for lots of people, it's so hard to give up on their comfort food and their addictions. And I think it's a process. For me also, I went from, in steps to where I'm now, because people hear what I'm eating. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's so hard. How do you do that? So I went in steps, but I just want to encourage people, like, try to, cut back on all that poisonous things that you're putting in your body. Make that connection to your body. Start listening to your body, like what we were just talking about. Our body is giving feedback all the time. Only it's so hard to hear if you put so many toxins in it and you're not connected and you're trying to suppress everything, your emotions, your physical pains. But actually, it's the body trying to communicate with you and make you thrive in a way. Only you have to listen to it. Yeah. So there are so many things, but I find it hard to say to people what they have to do, because then, of course, they're not going to do it. It's just...
Yeah. I love that.
There.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And when I learned this information and recovered myself, I wanted to tell the world. And some people don't want to hear it. A lot of people don't want to hear it. And I think that's great. And that's the way I like to do things now, is to just try and be the example, for my family and things like that as well. And I think that's one of the most motivating thing that people can see, this vibrant person in the world. And then they can go, hey, what are they doing? What's going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
But stories like these, though, as well, that I think just helps give people the awareness, because a lot of us are, probably taking a lot of prescription drugs that we're told is the only way forward. And, in that bubble of fog and fatigue and trying to figure it all out and not realizing that food is medicine and you can literally rebuild the body. And I think the more examples we have of people that have gone through this and, reduced the medications down to zero and know how to medicate themselves with food and the right nourishment for not only the body but also the mind, and how to start changing their perception of this reality so that things are looking very vibrant rather than seeing the negative side of things all the time, and the life just becomes a very different experience when you start to embrace some of these things. And it takes a bit of work, for sure. It takes you've got to build up new habits and those sort of things. But, if you're struggling in life, there's nothing else to focus on other than that, because that's the one thing, that's the one lever that you can pull that's going to change everything else. And that's when the manifesting and the dream life really starts to become a reality. So, yeah, thank you again for sharing your story. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure it's going to inspire a lot of people.
Thank you so much for your time and for setting up this program to help people like us.
Yeah, you're welcome.